Medical and science research will not simply stop. The UK pays into the EU to then get money back in the form of funding. The UK will now be in control of this money and can choose to fund whatever UK-based medical science, art or other research it chooses. Nobody that I am aware of has actually said that medical and science research, medicine is science. So again, what's with the language of going, medicine, NHS, think about health. Okay, medicine is science. Not all science is medicine, but medicine is science. So scientific research will not simply stop. I don't know anybody that has said it will if we leave the EU. It will, however, be impacted. The UK pays into the EU, it's part of our subscription fee, our membership fee, call it what you will, and we do get money back in the form of EU grants towards research, scientific research. However, it's not just a UK thing, and what I said previously about the economy also tallies in here. We get money back from the EU to invest in many things, including research. So again, these billions saved seem to be being... Not only do they not really exist in the way it's being presented, but they seem to be getting spent many times over on all of these things we will suddenly be able to do because we can pluck the money off mythical trees the EU have banned. I'm not quite sure where the money's coming from. There's only so much to spend. It can only go so far. That this is the economy argument that I've already made, and I'm talking about research now, so I'll shut up about that as best I can. Money is a big thing, though, in this, in that certain research bodies have already said they see their funding being cut if we leave the EU. There's absolutely no guarantees the UK government would fund certain areas of research that are currently being EU funded. Funding is a very political thing. A lot of people make a big deal about how global warming, or climate change funding, came about because Thatcher decided it was a great idea to try and prove the case as much as possible for man-made climate change. So some people, especially climate change deniers, have said, well, if you want to write a paper on why do squirrels bury their nuts, you won't get any money. But if you say, why do they bury their nuts in light of a changing climate, you will. Which shows that the whole idea of research funding is very political, particularly in this country. So there's no guarantees whatsoever that existing projects would still receive funding. More than that, and one of the things that really worries me in this statement, is the UK will now be in control of this money and can choose to fund whatever UK-based medical, science, art or other research. This has this sort of undertone, this arrogance and superiority that we don't need to work with other people. We're better off going it alone. Why should we be held back by anybody else, by people from other countries, by foreigners? Well, it doesn't really work that well that way. International cooperation on fundamental research is going to be, the majority of the time, vastly more successful and efficient than going it alone. If you have got experts from all over Europe working together who all have possibly slightly different backgrounds, slightly different educations and areas of expertise, and they pool all of those differences together to solve a problem, you are more likely to come up with a faster and more comprehensive solution. If we focus just on this country and people from this country, people trained in this country, you're taking a very sort of homogenized group and expecting them to be able to work as quickly and effectively on a problem as taking more people from wider spread backgrounds. It does not add up in the world of science. Also, money-wise, it doesn't add up. It is better that we all chip in something, which puts more money in the collective pot towards researching something, than if we go, well, if we're part of Europe, then if all the other countries chip in, we've got 200 million for this project, this research. And if we stay in the UK, then maybe we can find 30 million. Economies of scale. The EU can financially back research much, much more than the UK can do it alone. And this is the message a lot of the way through this. We can simply be more effective together, then we could be in isolation. And in this area, again, this message of the UK will be in control of the money it puts into the UK, that may be true, but is a UK-centric, sort of isolated research body going to be anything like as effective as an international one with international funding?